So Heroes Reborn basically picks up 5 years post the end of the original series. At the end of the original series, the world finally finds out, there are people that exist in this world that have powers. And now we're kind of picking up 5 years later. And as you quickly learn, a year prior to us picking up, so 4 years after the end of the series, there was this massive incident that happened. And hundreds of thousands of people died. And it's blamed on kind of a terrorist act by a powered person or a group of powered people. And so that causes this kind of crazy xenophobia that's going on within the United States, in the world, I guess, for that matter. And so now we're just kind of being thrown into that xenophobic, weird, polarized world of people with powers and people without powers, and how's this world ever going to work? Yeah, so in the first episode, you first get a little bit of a glimpse of Joanne, though you don't know who she is at the time, just chasing somebody down in an alleyway like a badass. And then you see Luke, and again, you don't know if there's any association between them, but he's in a church basement in Chicago, kind of at what looks like could be like an AA meeting, but it's really just a bunch of people with abilities trying to figure out what they're going to do as they're being kind of hunted down by all types of different people, whether it's the government or clandestine organizations or crazy vigilantes. And pretty quickly you find out that Luke and Joanne are pretty dark people. It's a far cry from Chuck, that's for sure. Yeah. Having played Chuck, or even characters like Chuck that have really good hearts and they're good people and they mean well, but they kind of stumble over their own words. And I wanted to play a character that was intelligent, confident, badass, and maybe not altogether that great. Maybe really dark, maybe really bad. I was a fan of the original Heroes. I'm a big fan of the concept of heroes and the concept of powers and the concept of, kind of everyday people just like suddenly finding out they have like this weird genetic mutation that gives them special abilities. I think it's the reason why I was a giant X-Men fan growing up as a kid, and why I keep, even to this day, secretly hoping that I'll have some kind of genetic mutation that will allow me to either fly or turn invisible or teleport or read minds or whatever. So yeah, I was a fan of this show, and kind of, and everybody in it. I mean, we on Chuck came along. Our first season was their second season, and I got to meet a lot of the cast and Tim, and became friends with a lot of them, and so there's a special place in my heart for the original show, and that was part of kind of what gravitated me toward wanting to come back and be a part of the miniseries. I hope that those who are fans of the original series will find in this miniseries, all the stuff that they loved the first time around. Dynamic characters, dynamic relationships, really kick-ass special effects and actions, and crazy plot twists and weaving together conspiracy theories, and just like a cast of thousands, and just like really fulfilling storytelling. I mean, that's what I'm hoping they're going to find in this. That's what I hope we all find in this. Is and because it's a miniseries, I do feel like you're giving everybody the best chance at having something that has a really clear beginning and middle and end, and is leaner and meaner, and not having to be drawn out too far, and having episodes that were like, oh, that one feels like we didn't really move forward anywhere, or we repeated ourselves from the last episode. And I'm just a big fan of miniseries. I'm a big fan of being able to tell like a really cool, succinct story, and I think that's what we got here.